Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of the Burnout, starring myself, Kimberly Grace Bowman, and my wonderful co-host Emily Luther. I'd like to start this broadcast with just a little quote. Way more than I ever dreamed, thought I'd accomplish. Those words came from one of the most popular drivers in NASCAR, Dale Earnhardt Jr. this week, his impending retirement from NASCAR. So, Emily Luther needs to be passed a box of tissues right now.
Sorry.
I don't know. Announced this week, although coming as a surprise, it's probably not a big shock to some of us, but definitely unexpected. All the same, no longer racing in the Monster Energy Cup Series after 2017. Actually, they haven't announced who's going to take his place. I don't think yet. I think anyone could rightly take his place. Does will definitely have big shoes to fill. Have you any thoughts, Emily?
I have a lot of thoughts. If you guys remember, sorry, first of all, I've had a hard time composing myself with this whole situation. I can't even think about it without crying, so I probably shouldn't even be on here this week just because of the situation. However, at the beginning of the season, if you guys remember, I said it was coming and was, but you never want to admit that. And it's just so hard because first we had Gordon announce his retirement, and then Smoke, and then we have the surprise with Carl this year. And I think what was upsetting too was I felt really bad for all the Carl fans because all the junior fans, I get it, we're upset, like we're frustrated, this is sad, I get it, he's doing it for himself and for his family, and I think it is the right step for him. However, this is going to be hard. I've watched a junior since I was 3. 20 years. Like, that's crazy. And so I think what was hard for junior fans, at least personally for me, because I have a lot of Carl Edwards fans, was seeing how they reacted to it, just saying, at least you guys get a final ride with him. We didn't know that was our final ride. So that has definitely put it into perspective. However, it doesn't make it easier. Like I said, I've watched junior since I was 3, and to not see him on the track that after this year is going to be devastating. And I get he's had really big shoes to fill since the beginning. He never, a lot of people will say he never lived up to his father's name, and that's sad to say. But he's accomplished a lot. He might not have accomplished everything that he wanted, but he has accomplished a lot. And I think he's done the Earnhardt name very well. And I think this is the right move for him. I mean, I don't want it to be a situation where, God forbid, he stayed in the sport and, a few years on the line, he ends up just like his father. I don't want to see that happen. So I do think this is the right move. However, it's not easy. I understand what all the Jeff Gordon fans are going through or what they went through, and it's going to be a tough rest of the season. Michigan for my 24th birthday in June, and that would be as a fan, and that would be my last race to see junior as a fan. However, come July, I will get to watch junior race for the last time while representing NASCAR female in the media. So it's definitely going to be a different experience for both. And for our NASCAR female fans, I am going to try my hardest for all of you junior fans and for all of you NASCAR female fans to get an interview with him in Kentucky. I'm going to try my hardest. I'm not going to make any promises. He is the most popular driver, but I am going to try and do that.
You go for it. Do the best you can without giving yourself alarm too extreme.
So I guess we'll just have to see how the rest of this Season plays out. I have literally done nothing but cry since the announcement came out. It was really weird too because my phone blew up the day that it happened, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. Like, I was at work, so I was like, why is my phone blowing up so much? And I couldn't look at it because I was talking to my boss. So I finally get to my phone, and it's all these text messages, and it's all these, like, pictures of stuff. And I'm like, what is going on? So, like, I finally look into it, and it's a screenshot of one of the articles. And I was like, no, wait a minute. No, this can't be happening. So then I looked again, and I looked at the other ones, and I was like, no. This literally, guys, like, please, this is be funny. And then I listened to his presser at 3. Well, I listened to it at 4 after I got home from work because I couldn't listen to it while I was at work because for the exact reason of why I listened to it at 4, it happened. I literally sobbed the entire time. Like, you know that ugly girl cry that happens, like when you sob, that was me. That was totally me. And I'm trying really hard not to do that tonight. I can't even look at his merchandise on the NASCAR website without crying. So I think it'll be interesting. It's just going to be like Jeff Gordon with Chase Elliott. Whoever takes over for that car is going to have big shoes to fill. However, the two that are the most likely, I wouldn't mind either one of them. They're both very talented, and I'm sure everyone knows who I'm talking about, William Byron and Alex Bowman. However, I do have a little bit of favoritism. I would like Alex Bowman over William Byron. Give the kid. What? I just think I like Byron, don't get me wrong. I just think Bowman deserves the chance. I'm not saying Byron doesn't, but I think Bowman deserves it more.
He has already proven himself in the 88 last year.
Exactly. He tried so hard and did so well in that car for what was given to him. He had big shoes to fill last year, and I think he did a really good job with it.
For sure. I mean, shoot. I think he come close to winning it once.
So I did think it was interesting. Fox Sports came out with an interesting article today. And it was the top 8 drivers you should fan for or whatever for if you're a junior fan. Okay. Like 4 was Chase, and I was like, that's not like I was surprised he was that low because like I would have picked him first or second. I was completely baffled by Brad Keselowski simply because yes, Brad Keselowski started with Junior Motorsports. He did. He started in Junior Motorsports. I get it. Him and Junior are really good friends. I understand. I was a Brad Keselowski fan for a while. And then he made some not so great decisions and became kind of a jerk on the track. And I don't like playing with jerks. I just don't do it. Hence why I don't like Kyle. However, that's a lot of where my frustration with Brad comes from. Do I think he's a talented racer? Yes. Do I think he whines? Yes. I think he whines too much. And I think he plays the victim card far too much. So I thought it was interesting that Brad was number 2. However, number 1 on the list
I wonder who
was none other than the number 21 of Ryan Blaney. Can we just take a moment that for the past however long I have been a Ryan Blaney fan and a junior fan, I've known longer than the NASCAR analyst that Ryan Blaney was a good one to pick after Junior retired. I'm just saying.
Okay, I know it's probably not going to happen, but what if that's a hint for him filling in the 88?
I think I would pee myself. I want you to know that. I think I would pee myself. Listen, don't give me that look. So, I don't know if you listen to Ryan's podcast.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so Ryan does this podcast, and they actually had him on, or he had it after the announcement. In Junior Motorsports, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. himself were one of the first people to approach Ryan about driving for Xfinity. And, you know, things happen, and the situation is what it is, and he ended up signing with Penske. But Junior was one of the first people who went after him. Do I think it would be a blind side of a move? Yeah, I think it would be a blind side of a move. Do I think it would be a good move? Yeah, I think it would be a good move. I think he would get the attention that he deserves there. And I'm not saying Wood Brothers isn't giving him good attention. Like, they're giving him attention. However, the way that Penske treats him.
Exactly. I was just thinking that.
What?
Take over the 88. That would definitely put Penske in their place.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That would be like a screw you for screwing me over for how long? I mean, I get it. Ryan is a good guy. He is dedicated to Penske. He is dedicated to Wood Brothers, and I commend him for that. However, with how much that team has screwed him over between pulling him out of the 22 car in Xfinity for no reason other than the sponsors complaining, and to do it last minute like they always do, and the fact that they won't put him in a third car when they clearly have the money for it, but now there's rumors that Paul Menard might take over the third car. That's really crappy. I'm sorry. At this point, Ryan needs to do what's best for him.
Yeah.
And if that means getting in the 88 car, I'm not going to complain. Heck, I probably won't even have to change my merchandise that much if you think about it.
True. It's just like, the hats have the signature on the side and stuff.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll just get like a scan of his signature and tape it on.
Or you know how to stitch, you could stitch it in yourself.
When I read that article right before I got on, I was like, no way. Like, I was scrolling because the picture was of Ryan and Junior, and I was like, he's probably like fifth, just something like that. No, he was number one.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I think it'll be interesting too to see how this plays out with, drivers such as JJ and Matt Kenseth and even Casey, because Casey has not done well in the 100 car, in the 5 car in years. They need some, I'm not trying to be mean towards Casey. He's very talented, and he was one of the first drivers I ever met, so he will always be special to me. However, he's not won a race. He's not done decent in so many years. Like, I think last year was the first year where he got a fire under his butt and, made something of himself at Bristol last year. And that he needs to make a big move as well. And I hope that that's after 2017 and that he can get to a team that really, that'll help him. However, I don't think he's at the age of retirement yet. But then again, Carl retired out of nowhere, so I really can't go off that either. But, we have to start thinking. JJ's getting up there in age. Matt Kenseth. What bothered me about Matt Kenseth's interview recently was he said, if Tom Brady can win the Super Bowl at 40, why can't I race at 45? And I commend him for that. However, Junior also said he wanted to race after 2017, and now look at the decision he just made. I don't believe any of y'all. I'm just saying.
I mean, it sort of rumors came out about him, and he ain't retired yet. He ain't even announced that. And I mean, we're losing enough of the past generation of drivers. Chill out. Don't count them out until they actually are out.
I mean, Biffle isn't racing anymore. We're losing all of the at least we're losing all the drivers like The sport has to adapt, and I completely understand. And I'm so thrilled to hear Junior's not stepping away from racing. I didn't think he would with Junior Motorsports and everything. I would love it if Junior Motorsports could make it up into the Cup Series. I think that would be awesome. Do I think it'll happen? No, because they have an agreement with Hendrick. But I think it would be really good.
Yeah, that would be slightly awkward, but at the same time, teams that's got agreements and deals and stuff that's in the Cup Series together. So I think it could work. It's nice there's a healthy competition instead of angry competition.
So what did you think of the announcement? Did you cry at all? Because I cried like a child, like a small child.
Definitely surprising. Of course, um, like I said, it wasn't because you knew it would come eventually, but I was definitely like, what? It was definitely a game changer when I read it. I was actually just waking up. One of the things, you're waking up, you're half groggy, through the phone, what's the news, and I'm like, so that's that.
It also made me laugh because Nicole texted me and she says, "I'm so sorry," with like a bunch of like broken heart emojis. And at that point, I still had no idea what was going on, and I'm like, "What are you sorry for?" But I didn't answer him because I was looking at the other messages, and then I was like, "Oh, that's what she means." Yep.
Yeah, definitely. It's like you've been a fan longer than I have, not by many years, but slightly longer. But me more is seeing that generation of drivers starting to leave the sport. That's where it hits home for me more because, okay, these are the drivers. You have your ones from the past generation that, started retiring. This is our generation of the older drivers retiring. And it's like, your the young kids still get used to the fact that I'm an adult, you know. So when you
Yeah.
see that the young kids are like, they won't know who these guys are, and you think, okay, these are the names I grew up with. I mean, before I was even a fan, a true fan, my dad watched the sport, so I always heard the names. I mean, or the I mean that was NASCAR. Those names were NASCAR, and I know the next generation of drivers, those will be what NASCAR is too. Your kids come out after us to become NASCAR fans. I get it.
I think
That
it's
that's
definitely harder. I think it's definitely harder for like people our age right now with this whole transition because, people of my mom's age, when those guys were retiring, they were retiring at, 50s and 60s. We have guys retiring in
right.
the 30s and 40s now.
And it begs to wonder if it has something to do with the sport. Because if they're
That's
tiring
what
of the
I'm wondering.
evening, you have these drivers that clearly they weren't tired of what they were doing. So something was working in the sport that kept them there. And, we've kind of learned to decide, like, okay, I'll say this in front of anyone else, but him, and even Gordon, even though he felt it was his time to retire, like, there's probably something else they're not saying
I mean, I can
regarding
truthfully
they
say,
don't like about becoming. No, but they probably will never say it in front of the camera because they respect the sport so much, and that's understandable.
I do
I'm
see
sure
what you're
there's some things that
saying.
will have.
I see what you're saying for sure because it is a little fishy. However, I do think Juniors is honestly genuine. I do think he doesn't want to risk his health. I do think he does want to settle down and start
Right.
a family with Amy. I do think that his is genuine, and I think Jess was genuine, and I think Smokes was genuine. I feel like it's Smokes. He had the worst past few years, like personal drama, professional drama. Like he had a really rough few years. I understand. I would have retired long before he did. So with those three, I completely understand. However, like Brian Scott, Biffle, which Biffle didn't actually retire, he just stepped away and he said he would be willing to get back in the car. However, will he really? Time will tell. But Carl Edwards stepped away out of nowhere. It's all very peculiar. It doesn't make sense. Nothing lines up. There's not been any definite reason as to why they stepped away either, which kind of clouds it, like muddies the waters a little bit.
Jessica was my part to announce it early on in the season before stand time. Like yourself, you'll do the same race, twice before. and my dad was talking about how they were talking about it, and the topic came up, ticket sales rise from now until the end of the year because everyone's the last chance to see him race. He said a guy called in that said, yeah, sure, yeah, you're right, because I just spent like $1,500 on tickets to races. I think I got that number right. It was like 1,500, I think.
Yeah.
So your dedicated fans are gonna sport now. Okay, I definitely believe that could happen. You know, a rise in sales between now and the end of the year. Will sales fall next year?
I think, you know, I agree with you. The diehard fans will stay. But if you think about it, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is a household name. Like, even if you aren't into racing, you know him. Just like you know Jeff Gordon, you know Jimmy Johnson, even if you don't like racing. Just like you know the Andretti family, even if you don't like racing. And Elio Castroneves, you know, whether it's Indy, whether it's Formula One, whether it's NASCAR, whether it's baseball, all of these guys are family names that you know whether or not you watch a sport. And I hate to bring this up, but it's true. Whenever something big happens with those people, the people that hear about it are more likely to tune in just to see what's going on. So now we lose that wow factor as well.
Mm-hmm. I want to predict what would happen, but I really don't know. It can, you know.
How can you
I
predict
really
what will
don't
happen
know.
after everything that's happened in the past 3 years with the sport? How can you predict anything? You can't. You literally can't.
Well, to here and talk about this plastic trade a little bit. If y'all didn't know, part two race got rained out and was ran on Monday. I know that better than anyone because I kept it on Twitter, which having me. And you'd think I remember everything that happened, but I'm trying to remember all the major points. Jimmy Johnson won. That's to him. The top 10 was fairly interesting to me. We had Jimmy Johnson winning. Clint Boyer was second. Incredible for him, considering how his race went and what he's been doing over the past year. Harvick third, Matt Kenseth fourth, Joey Logano fifth, Kyle Larson sixth, Chase Elliott seventh, Martin Truex Jr. eighth. For him, because late in the race, he had to go to the tail end of the longest line, like towards the end of the race, and he finished eighth. That was pretty awesome. Stenhouse Jr. finished ninth, and Denny Hamlin rounds up your top 10 at Bristol this week. That Martin Truex Jr., that team is a powerhouse.
Mm-hmm.
8 after that penalty, that was wow.
Whatever they have going for them now, they need to keep doing it because they are a force to be reckoned with. And, you know, they missed out on the championship last year, but they're going to be a serious contender for this year.
Now, it's like I would want Chase to win a championship. Martin Truex Jr. would be my next choice. Junior winning the championship would probably be a pretty good 2017 season, I will admit.
Yeah, can Junior win the championship and go out with a bang, please? Please. He doesn't have a championship in the Cup Series. I can't.
Track that he's not won at.
What?
Not won at. That he needs to walk off his list.
I'm trying to think. There's not many, I can tell you that. And I can also tell you that in 2 weeks, we appear, actually it's more like a week now, we appear at a specific track. The junior really does well. The restrictor plate track on the course, or on the schedule. Just saying. Everybody knows what it is. It's my favorite track. He's won there 6 times. Like, let's go. Let's go. But I do not know.
This week. Richmond, isn't it?
Yes, Richmond. So, we are, hold please. It's a 3/4 mile oval. The stages, stage 1 ends at lap 100, stage 2 ends at lap 200. Race finishes lap 400 overtime possible. The flyover is being done by the F-18s. I thought that was important to announce. The September 2016 race winner was Denny Hamlin. The April 2016 race winner was Carl Edwards. The youngest winner was Richard Petty at 23 years, 9 months, 21 days. We have a few drivers who can break that, actually. September 2016 pole winner was Denny Hamlin, and April 2016 pole winner was Carl Edwards. So they both started from the first, and they both won. The youngest pole winner was Brian Vickers, which is very interesting because he was only 20 years old.
That probably won't be broken.
I can't even try to come up with who I think is going to win. My brain is just so traumatized from this announcement.
Yeah.
Do you say Gibbs? Yeah, that's probably going to be a good choice.
Accepting a full because he's still getting the hang of things.
I don't know, though. If you're going to go with Gibbs, I would go with Martin Truex Jr. Even though he's not Gibbs, he's in Gibbs-ish equipment.
Very true. That would be a good choice.
He's in Gibbs-ish. I don't have a pick for this weekend. I don't know.
Okay. You could just pick Junior every week until the end of the year. How about that?
Well, see, here's the thing. So I don't pick Ryan anymore because every time I do, I jinx him. So I don't pick Ryan anymore. However, the one time I did pick Junior, he won. So I'm going to go with Junior. I think this will be the icing on the cake, like, for this announcement. If he wins this weekend, I'll be like, okay, all right. You race like this the rest of the season, and fine. But I do hope the sport, continues to recognize him this year. I do think it's interesting that a lot of people think he'll be put in the NASCAR Hall of Fame on his first round. I wouldn't be surprised, however.
2 years. I don't see it happening definitely quickly.
I don't know. People are saying instantly, which I think part of it is, he is senior's kid. I get it. But we'll just have to wait and see. But you're right. I'm going with Junior for this weekend.
I'll go with Martin Truex Jr. I like that solid pick.
You're welcome. Is it bad that as I said you're welcome, I wanted to sing the You're Welcome song from Moana? Is that bad? You're like, nope, please don't.
All right. I think we covered all the news. Talking about that as our main priority is absolutely okay. All right. We are doing another fan coin giveaway this week, right? If y'all didn't know, we are doing with fancoin.com, which I believe is their website.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. Now I'm trying to get to it quickly, which quickly right now. All right. We will be more memorabilia from the FanCoin. Their Twitter handle is at the FanCoin. If you want to check them out, thefancoin.com. If you're not entered for our giveaways, then you get a wonderful postcard that will be yours to keep to win in our giveaways that we have coming up. So go to the website nascarfemale.com to check out our giveaways, articles by ladies who work so hard to bring you the latest in NASCAR from their favorite driver's perspective. And I think that's all for this week. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, social media outlets. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel here and on those notifications, and you won't miss a beat with the burnout every week. We will be back here next Thursday, same time, for the burnout. Thank you all for tuning in, and y'all have a wonderful rest of your night.
Right, y'all.